Hi Aries, this is Sage Wisdom by Shontell Harris, and I'm here to do your monthly astrological reading. You have 2 readings per month, the general reading and the love reading. This is the general, and about mid-month we'll do the love reading. So with the general, it can include love, so it just depends on what cards are out and what the message is. But with the love reading, specifically focused on love, so tune back in mid-month to get your love reading, okay Aries? So I'm going to go ahead and just get started because you have a lot of cards out on the table. I already prayed for divine protection and love, asking for messages for your highest good to come through and to protect the space from any lower negative energies, okay? All right, so the overall energy of your reading is the Two of Swords, okay? And it's like you guys feel like you're at a crossroad, and I say that because I clarified that with the Two of Wands. You feel like you're at a crossroad, like you want to go in a direction, but you're not sure of which direction to go in. So it's like you're just kind of standing there looking. You know, that's hence at the crossroad, like crossroad and a stalemate. Okay, so it's like it's not necessarily a decision that you have to make. It's more to do with looking at your life and trying to figure out what else is there to this. Okay. So it's like you guys are very stable financially. You have money contentment. You know, there's no issue with money and finances. Y'all feel really stable. But you got this feeling of frustration, a feeling of being like held back from something. It's something that wants to come out, something that wants to be revealed, that's going to lead you to a happier time, okay? So that's where we at with that. And I clarified that was the 10 of Pentacles showing you stability. The 8 of Swords showing you frustration, like you're feeling kind of confined. And the 10 of Cups is what you really want. Okay? So it's like you're at this crossroad trying to figure out how to get to what you really want. All right? So that's the overall energy for this reading. All right. So the card that's representing you is the King of Cups. So it's like you guys want emotional stability at this time. You know, you want to be stable emotionally. That's the thing that you're missing right now. That's why you have the 8 of Swords and you're feeling frustrated and bound. But I'm going to go deeper into why you feel like you're missing this. Okay? Okay. I clarified your 10 of Cups. And what I got was the King of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles, the 4 of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, and the 9 of Wands. A lot of cards, right? Okay, so the King of Pentacles is like, you want, okay, first off, you want emotional stability. You want to be King of Cups. Be emotionally stable, emotionally balanced in your life, okay? But your energy right now is really the King of Pentacles, okay? It's like you're stable financially. On a material level, you're good, okay? And it's okay because this is something you work towards. It's not like you inherited money. It's like well, some of you may have. But what I'm saying is, it took a while to get to this emotional stable point. And I think that you guys thought when you got to this point that you would feel a little happier than you do. You felt like you would feel like this when you got to this emotional stable point, okay? You felt like you would have a 10 of Cups energy, feeling happy, like, oh, I got my dream to always want it. That's how you felt you would have felt after being emotionally stable. But what you're actually feeling is 8 of Swords, kind of frustrated, like, okay? All right, so anyway, the 5 of Pentacles it's like you're trying to get a grip on the situation and understand something. It's like a message is one. I mean, and I don't see any pages that show a message, but I'm telling you, the divine is trying to reach you. The divine is trying to make you get in touch with who you are so you can see the truth in certain matters, okay? And that's what this 5 of Pentacles represents to me in this reading, okay? But in order to get to the truth of this matter, you're going to have to go into meditation, connect with the divine, connect with spirit, you know, clear your schedule, clear your mind, take a vacation, but not a vacation for this, like going to the Bahamas and drinking margaritas, like a retreat. In spirit, you're trying to find yourself. They want you to kind of find yourself at this point. Okay, so then you have the Knight of Pentacles. So it is a message. So the message is coming through. And you have the 9 of Wands. Okay. So the 9 of Wands, I'm going to do that one first, is showing that you're undecided. So you need to step out of the situation so you can see the situation more clearly. Okay? And you can do that by going on some kind of retreat that help you get in touch with your spiritual side, you know, so that you can be able to pray to God, pray to God, talk to your angels and your spirit guides, help you understand what the lesson is right now, what it is you're supposed to be learning, how to gain this emotional stability, okay? So there's a message that wants to be shared that's going to bring you the kind of security that you're seeking, and that's emotional security, okay? And that's what the Knight of Pentacles. So once you go into this meditative state, go on this retreat and connect with God, the divine, and talk to your angels and spirit guides, you're going to find a way to step out of the situation, because you're going to look at the bigger picture, okay? And then you're going to become more emotionally balanced. Okay, so at the foundation of your reading, you have strength. So it's going to take courage to go through this. So just be patient with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. All right? And then you have the Four of Pentacles here, clarifying the strength card. I'm going to show you. And what that means is like you guys are hesitant. It's like you're hesitant to move forward in this direction of spiritual growth, because it's something that you don't want the world to see, something you don't want to admit to yourself about a situation, something you're not ready to. I mean, it's like you're afraid of your emotions, your feelings. You're afraid to go this route. You're afraid to go the emotional route. It's easy for you to be about action and taking action, because you got the Queen of Wands over here, right? In your environment, because you're action oriented, fire sign, Aries, right? But it's hard for you to get in touch with your emotions and really know the truth of a matter, okay? So it's like unveiling some type of secret from yourself, okay? Okay. So then, in the past, you have the Four Wands, so it's showing like you have your stable home, your happy family, money, contentment, right? But I clarify that you're not happy. You're feeling frustrated with the situation, and you feel like there's some type of loss. But they're saying there is hope for this, in not just financial stability, but also in emotional stability, okay? So this is what you wanted. This is what you have this, but it's just not everything that you hoped and wished that it would be, okay? But they're saying that all is not lost. And so you can kind of like put your frustrations aside and just know that something better is coming in, but it's going to take a little work on your side, okay? So these are my cards that I clarify with. All right, so then present situation, you're feeling like the hangman, like you're feeling like I don't know what to do. I'm all tangled up. I don't know what to do. You know what Spirit is saying? Take a leap of faith. Take a leap of faith so that you can get to your true happiness. Got the Fool card here, right? So in your future, you have the Eight of Cups. So it shows that you're going to walk away from a situation that's not serving you, but not in a literal sense, I don't think. I don't think you're going to walk away from a situation. I think that you're going to come into yourself, okay? Like, so it's like you're going to pull away from the world in some ways. Pull away from like your community or society for now, so you can like I was saying, like take a retreat, like a spiritual retreat. You're gonna go on a retreat to find yourself. Basically, this is what this card represents to me. Going on a retreat so you can find yourself. Okay? And when you do this, it's gonna bring emotional happiness to you, okay? And normally this is my proposal card, but in this case it means it's gonna bring you happiness in the form of your emotions. Okay, so then when you go on this retreat, and it doesn't have to be a physical retreat. It can be like meditating, astral travel. You know what I'm saying? Like connecting with the divine. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Your spiritual self is being taken somewhere else. Okay? It doesn't have to be actually physically going somewhere, just like going on a mind trip, okay? Going like on a trip to help you understand who you are, like coming into yourself. Okay? And then when you start this, you're going to start having more options. You're going to start seeing situations in their entirety. and start to see it clearly, okay? You're going to see situations for what they are. And not only that, you're going to be more accepting of situations. You're going to start seeing different perspectives on a situation that you've been thinking about for years, situations that maybe you haven't healed from. You're going to see it in a different light this time, okay? All right, so then your environment, again, that's you, this is representing you, the Queen of Wands, all right? So you're wanting to be this happy, and I guess it's called over here, the Queen of Wands. You want to be positive and happy and outspoken. This is really your true energy. You don't have to be queen, be king. This is your true energy, a happy, outspoken woman, fire sign, Aries, okay? This is who you are, and this is what you're trying to get back to, okay? Your fear is, as you go on this trip, the spiritual trip, you feel like everything's going to break down. Like everything you built is going to no longer be there. The fear has to do with, if I was truthful to myself about what I really wanted at this time, or I was honest about who I am, I'm afraid that it will break down the stable foundation that I established. Okay, so you have a fear that you're gonna have a tower moment where everything is you're gonna be exposed, and people aren't gonna accept you, and then everything's your empire is gonna crumble down. But the truth of the matter is, you're gonna be exposed because you're not opening up to another person at this point right now. You're opening up to God and your spirit guides, and so you're opening yourself up to divine guidance. So you are exposed, but in the most safest, loving way ever. Okay. And if something does come tumbling down, it's going to be for your good, okay? I know it sounds bad, but let's just keep going. But after that, your outcome will be the World card, so it means you're going to enter a new cycle. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm about to clarify some things. I'm about to clarify some things for you, okay? Now, I've meditated on your session, and for a long time. There's like a lot of information came through, and I took notes. I got 3 pages of notes on your session. I'm gonna kind of go through that, and then I'm gonna go through my clarifier cards to kind of tell you what's going on. Okay, Aries. Okay, just bear with me. I hope you guys are still with me and on board. Okay, so what they were saying is you guys have an upsetting situation, but you're looking at it like a test. Okay. Don't look at it like that anymore. It's not a test. They're experiences to help you learn the truth about yourself, about who you are, who you're supposed to be this lifetime, okay? They said there's a pattern in the way you do things, okay? And they need you to break free from that pattern in order to understand the underlying message, okay? Right now, it comes across as negative because it's like the same thing. It's happening in a loop. It's happening over and over again, and you're just tired of it. That's why it's time to break free. That's why it's time to have this tower moment so something new can come into your world, okay? So what they said was, it's a negative cycle, and they need you to understand the underlying issue. It could be in career. It can be in love. It can be in relationship. It could be in terms of your health. It's some kind of negative thing that's happening over and over again. They want you to be open to all sides. It's the 7 of Cups. Looking at all sides, okay? Including the role that you played in it. Okay? So why were you accepting this pattern? So you have to ask yourself questions. That's how you break down barriers. That's how you get to the truth of the matter. You have to look at yourself in the mirror to get the truth on a situation. Okay? So it's a lesson that you were trying to understand, a lesson that you're trying to learn, but it's hard for you, okay? But if you look at it like you're assuming responsibility when you look in the mirror, if you look at her, okay, you look at her, she looked really sad. You really can't see her face, but when she looks in the mirror, she looks real happy, bright, like a goddess, right? So if you look at it like you're assuming responsibility by asking the questions and trying to understand things and not blame, then it leaves you feeling more empowered when you get your answer. I got to show you this again. See how she feels empowered? Because she's taking the time to understand herself. Okay? Okay. So you're learning lessons. I heard somebody come in my room. Somebody, I mean my son, okay? So you're learning lessons and you're going on. So you're learning lessons. So it's like when you're learning certain lessons, you have to ask yourself, what level am I on in this lesson? Am I at an elementary level or am I at a university level, right? So you're being honest with yourself. You got to be honest about where you at. That's the first part, admitting the truth about where you at, right? That's the only way you're going to break free, if you be honest about what level you at. Because the thing is, you want to, it's like, okay, like I'm a counselor, and I'm a high school counselor, and we meet with seniors to go over the credits and the things they need in order to graduate. And when we sit down and talk with those kids, we have to be honest and frank about where they stand. You know, like, okay, you have this many credits, you know, you're short on this. I mean, if you don't complete that or you don't pass this, you're a risk for not graduating. We have to tell them so they can know how to rise up to the occasion and do what they got to do. Okay, so it's like having an honest, frank conversation with yourself about your downfalls, and then, you know, your faults in certain situations, and then the things you did right. But so you look at the downfalls or your faults so you can know how and which areas you need to grow, and that's how you develop, and that's how you learn. You understand? So you got a lesson to learn. It's like you're in school. So this retreat that you're going on, remember I told you about the retreat that you're about to go on, the spiritual retreat? It's like it's gonna be like school for you, like a spiritual retreat where you're gonna learn some things about yourself. You're gonna unveil the mystery of who you are, okay, and why you have been going through these things. Okay, so then they said, if you need help, so like if I would go back to the school examples and talk about school, let's say you need help with a lesson, like you realize, oh yeah, I suck at math. I'm making this up, but yours could be like you suck at interpersonal relationships, you suck at connecting with people on an emotional level because it makes you feel some kind of way because it reminds you of this when you're a little kid, when this person didn't do X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? So now that's why I suck at this. So you need help. So ask God for help. God is your teacher. God is your principal. God is your guidance counselor. So you can talk to him about anything. So when you go on this retreat and you realize your lack and your downfall, make sure you pray to God to help you in those areas, and then let it go. It's that easy. It's just, one, looking at the situation, looking at yourself in this mirror. 2, admitting that you're not perfect in every area, and that's normal because you're a human being, okay? And 3, asking for help in the area that you suffer in. See? Simple. And that's going to be your retreat. Now, again, that's easier said than done, because a lot of people have deep emotional pain, drama, things that's happened to them in their lives, and what I'm picking up on right now, this might not be for everybody. Sexual abuse for some of you in your childhood that's making you can't connect on a deep emotional level. And other of you, I'm picking up on a bad relationship with your mother, okay? A strained relationship with your mother, like issues with your mom that you haven't dealt with, that dates way back to your childhood, and you brought that into your current relationship, the current situation you're in, where you come across as cold and not loving because of not healing, not forgiving that situation. Okay. So you basically receiving guidance about your spiritual path. You're gonna start having intuitive ideas, and then what they're asking you to do is to start connecting with like-minded people. And it just depends on whatever your religious faith is. Like if you're into going to church, go to church, because you connect with people and you can get people to pray for you, anoint you with that oil, and just having more than one person pray for you to help uplift you out of this mood that you're in. It just helps. Prayer really is powerful, okay? So, and it might just be taking a more spiritual path, like I said, meditating, going on your spiritual retreat and connecting with the divine in that way. So whatever path, it doesn't matter your religious faith or the way you choose to go about going to God to search for your answers, to get help. It just matters that you do it, that you take the step and you do that, just like you do in your career, and just like the way you handle your finances. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way you need to be attacking your spiritual self in order to heal, so you can be healthier and even more financially abundant than you already are. Okay. So, all right, so I think I got that message out without kind of looking at my notes. That was good, okay? Okay, so this retreat that you're going to be on is going to give you time to heal from the inside out, right? Otherwise, you lose like your life force energy and you start feeling tired and drained most of the time. So that's why it's important that you do this, all right? We're not getting younger, we're getting older. So the older we get, the more we need to take care of ourselves, not just by exercising and studying and, keeping our mind fresh. Also, by taking care of ourselves on an emotional level, on a spiritual level. We can't depend on other people to take care of us in that way, okay? And I think that's where a lot of people in relationship have issues. They don't deal with their past issues that most of the time it strings from upbringing in your family life, and then they look for a mate to try to fill in those holes, those empty parts in them that they never heal from. And then what ends up happening is when you can't heal yourself and you look for that in somebody else, it's like even if the other person pours into you, is a void. So it's like the energy is going there, but it's like you constantly need more and more because you have to pour into yourself, and you have to close those holes. First you got to heal it, and then you got to close those holes and let God pour into you and make you whole again and healed. And then when you date or you're in a relationship with somebody, it's like you two are dating from a healthier standpoint and not from a point of trying to get something from that person to make you feel better about a situation that happened. That make sense? Okay, so that's where we at. So basically, like I said, working on forgiveness. Some of you is with your mother, okay? And a lot of you being blocked by repressed anger and resentment, probably towards your mother or towards the situation that happened. Maybe a mother allowed it to happen, or maybe your mother didn't do something in a situation where you felt like she should have did something. Maybe your mother put too much responsibility on you as a young kid growing up. It could be a variety of different things, but I think it strings from your mother, okay? So it's important to heal that, okay? So, because it helps when you release and heal, when you forgive people, it helps to release that pain energy from your psyche, okay? So then you let that go and it make you feel more whole. It's good to reflect on a past situation, but don't hold on to it. Don't hold on to like pain. It's like repressed resentment is toxic to your body, emotional, physical, spiritual health. You have to learn how to let it go. But the way to let it go is basically looking at the situation, acknowledging it, forgiving the person. If you can't forgive the person, ask God to help you to forgive the person. So you're praying to God for assistance in this matter. You're not taking this all in your hand. You're not taking this on all by yourself. You're asking for spiritual help as you go on your journey. Help me to release this situation. Help me to forgive this person. Help me to forgive myself. Some of it is self-blame for you guys thinking you did something wrong. It wasn't nothing you did wrong. It was a lesson you went through. It was something you had to learn from it. But just take the lesson, let go of all the other stuff, all the self-blame, all the stress, all that, okay? So, okay, so that's that. That's my meditation session, okay? But basically, they want the truth to be revealed to yourself. They want you to make sure you're communicating more clearer and gentler with yourself, and that's why you got the strength card. So it's a gentle strength. Keep communication open by just being yourself, and when you do come to the conclusion of what it is that was bothering you, and you do have to speak out to the other person, just make sure you're gentle when you communicate with them, and speak from a point of how I want to say it. Speak from your heart. So speak how you feel, but not in a abrasive way, in a way that you're either trying to get answers or the way that you're trying to understand. And then when you speak from your heart, the other person recognizes that, and they will offer you the thing that you're wanting. I don't know if it's an apology or if it's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I didn't know that you felt that way. Whatever it is, if you speak from the heart and reveal your true message, stop trying to be hard and all egotistical, like, I don't need you, you get on my nerves because of this. Don't do that. Speak from, look, when this happened all those years ago, this is how it made me feel. To this day, I think about it and it makes me upset. Why did you allow this to happen? Or what? Ask the questions and let your person, whether it's your mom or somebody else, a mother figure, or, let them communicate their stance on it, because you need to understand the different perspectives, okay? because the way we perceive a situation can be different from the way another person perceived it. But all that matters is the perception. But if you understand each other's perceptions, that's half the battle. You understand? So just be gentle. Don't let your ego get in the way. All right? Okay, so that's that. All right, so the other thing I had is I clarified some cards on the board, right? So I got the 3 of coins. And for you, this means mastery and accomplishment. So you guys have mastered and accomplished a lot in your life, but you have some other things to master and accomplish on an emotional level, okay? You have the 5 of coins. And then what that means is like you guys have been overspending. So even though you, ooh, there's a little bug in here. Even though you have mastered some things financially, you guys are stable. Like money really isn't an issue because you haven't dealt with your emotional stuff. You guys are doing a lot of unnecessary spending. So it's like an imbalance, okay? You have the Temperance card, and she says a clashing of interests. So she wants you to use moderation and self-control when looking at unfulfilled desires. So when you're looking at unfulfilled desire, use moderation and self-control. Okay, and this has to do when you talk to the mother or whoever it is in your past that you need to talk to about how you felt about a situation. Just make sure you're using moderation and control. Don't let the situation get the best of you where you're arguing or screaming. That puts you right back into that negative mindset with all that toxic energy. So because when you go on this retreat, you're going to release a lot of that toxic energy because you're going to start forgiving. But sometimes when you bring up a situation again, all that can come back up. So it's important that you're very aware of how you're communicating and is very aware, like listening to the other person and really try to understand it. Ask God to help you through this process, okay? So Temperance, moderation and self-control, and that also has to do with your spending. So even though you're financially stable, you're spending a lot of your money on some things because it's like that void in you. You're trying to replace something that needs to be dealt with from the source as in God, and the source is in the person who you feel inflicted the pain on you. Okay, now I got the Devil card. So that means the mystery in the situation. Okay, and that can stand for your ego and you wanting to like go about it in a different way, the way you've been going about it, but it's not working for you. So you need to let your ego down. Let that devil energy go. Break those chains from the past. And allow forgiveness to come in. Allow love to come in. Allow God to heal the situation. Okay? Little bug. I totally killed the bug, just so y'all know. Little bug was flying in my face. That's that devil energy, okay? Anyway, I got the Judgment card. Okay, I'm itching now. Okay, bugs make me itch. Okay, so Judgment card is like a rebirth, renewal, and call to a new life. So as you go through this forgiveness process, it's like it's going to be rebirth into a new life cycle. Okay, so you have the World card. So it's going to be more loving and forgiving. Look at the look like God blowing his horn, and then you feeling more. Thank you, God, for like this healed situation. Okay. All right, so then 2 of Cups. So I'm itching now because of that bug. Partnerships need to agree and have teamwork. So this doesn't necessarily have to do with partnership as in the romantic love. It has to do with when you're communicating with that person that you can communicate with. You have to work at it together, okay? Like I said, seeing their perspective on it, seeing it from their point of view. So just remember that. The partnership, it goes 2 ways, listening and trying to understand. If you want them to listen to understand you, you have to listen to understand them, okay? So you get back what you put out. That's that mirror reflection. You get back what you put out, and that's a Judgment card, okay, karma. So if you want somebody to be patient, listen to you, you have to be patient and listen to them, understand their side of it, okay? It's so good. Okay, so then you got the Justice card. Isn't she pretty with her yellow on? I was going to tell you that yellow or topaz is a good stone to wear for forgiveness, just so you know that yellow, I like that. But they want balance and harmony and fairness in the situation, okay? If you want to be treated with fairness and balance and harmony, and you need to treat the other party who you're communicating with the same way, okay? Then you have the 4 of Cups. So this is representing your concealed anxiety. You have a lot of anxiety, but you need to see the blessings that's hidden. It's a blessing in this that you can't see yet, and you won't see it until you start going through the forgiveness route, okay? It's going to be a blessing in it for you, more than you know. You can't even imagine what it's going to be until you go that route, because that's going to be the gift that God gives you once you take those steps to try to work out the situation with your parent, mom, or mother figure, or this woman in your life. Okay. Then you got the Five of Swords. So it's a greater self-knowledge from mistakes and hardship, persistence versus over ambition. Persistence versus over ambitious. Don't act in your own best interest. Don't be selfish in this. So persistence versus over ambition. So remember I was saying how you guys work real hard, y'all stable, y'all money is in order, but the problem is the emotional part is not there. So be persistent to get the healing. Okay? The same way you're strong with your ambition and making your money and getting established in your career and being who you are, doctor, lawyer, businessman, entrepreneur, whatever you are, businesswoman. This is the same way, that same energy and force that you went through with that, it's the same amount of energy and force you need to go through with healing yourself and forgiving this person that you need to forgive so that you can have a better life, okay? Then you have the Eight of Coins, which is basically showing you're a very ambitious person and that you are the businesswoman. So just control, make sure you're not being a dictator in a situation. This situation doesn't call for dictatorship. It calls for true understanding, true listening, you know, so that you can get that same respect back, okay? Aries, this is a long reading, so I'm gonna end it here. I do wish the best for you, and I know these processes like these are hard, but the harder the experience is, the bigger the lesson, and the even bigger the blessing, okay? Light and love, and I'll see you guys mid-month for your love reading.